Welcome to TV20 News. We are Cleveland. I'm Leah Haslage. A horrible tragedy that befell Cleveland 110 years ago still brings about teachable moments to this day. On March 4th, 1908, Lakeview School in Collinwood caught fire, killing 172 children, 2 teachers, and 1 rescuer. On the anniversary of this tragedy, the Cleveland Division of Fire came to the site of the disaster, now Collinwood Memorial School, to memorialize that day.
This tragedy, which struck the school in the proud and prosperous village of Collinwood, had its impact not only on the village of Collinwood and the city of Cleveland, but across the nation and around the world. Kids, this is long before the internet, okay? And people in France knew about this. In France, in Great Britain, in Australia, they knew about this. And they sent support to our people here in Collinwood.
At the ceremony, Ward 8 Councilman Michael Polensik gave the students an important homework assignment.
Each of you, when you go home today, I hope you look to see if you have a smoke detector in your house and that the smoke detector is working. Because the men and women in blue behind me from the Cleveland Fire Division of Fire, they are the ones that so often have to run the homes or businesses and try to put them out. And then they have to contend with families or individuals trapped in those burning structures.
Cleveland Fire Chief Angelo Cavillo says that fire safety education, for the most part, starts with the kids.
Do you have a working smoke alarm? And if not, we can provide that working smoke alarm in conjunction with the American Red Cross. Have you worked on an escape plan to make sure you get your brothers and sisters, your mom and dad out of that structure, and where are you going to meet at? So when we have that conversation, when we come to the schools or those public relation details, these children will remember that. They'll go home to their parents and they'll ask them about that. And that'll start getting that process going so that we can get them those working smoke alarms and they can go over those escape plans.
Cleveland firefighters were on hand to give demonstrations of putting on their gear and how they go about finding someone trapped in a burning building using the crawling method. Outside, students had a chance to see an actual fire truck and talk with firefighters. The goal of seeing a fireman in full gear and the workings of the fire truck was to educate the children so they're not scared in case they need to be rescued. Keep watching TV20 to see the ceremony at Memorial School in its entirety. Cleveland Chief of Police Calvin Williams met with local religious leaders to engage in conversation over some tea. St. Agnes, Our Lady of Fatima Parish hosted Tea with the Chief, an event that's been going on for quite some time, says Chief Williams' community liaison, Cassandra Bledsoe.
The Tea with the Chief actually started, the very first one was done by Mary Bounds with, at that time, Chief Michael McGrath. She had him come talk to a group of women, and when I switched over to the police department, Director Michael McGrath asked that I would continue the meetings in the Tea with the Chief. So just created it, expanded that idea and went into the homes, and Chief Williams began to sit on the couch of women and men throughout Cleveland, and it has grown to what it is today. The first tea of every year is done with the faith community so that we can pray over our law enforcement.
The event was hosted by Catholic Diocese of Cleveland Bishop Nelson Perez. At a ceremony in the church, Chief Williams spoke to the crowd about his story.
People ask me, Chief, how do you get this certain demeanor? How do you, deal with all the enormity of what happens in the city and even the things that happen outside around this country that affect us? And I say it came from my mom. I mean, she was the person that really impressed upon us a work ethic, going to others, pray, and take care of your neighbors.
The theme of the Tea with the Chief was building trust, one conversation at a time.
Trust begins eye to eye, face to face, ear to ear. You get to know a person. It's hard to get to know someone through the TV screen. It's hard to get to know someone through what other people say. But when you sit down and talk with law enforcement and you just get to see them and talk with them and they can truthfully answer your questions, it breaks down all barriers and myths and misconceptions.
Bishop Perez was impressed with Chief Williams' story and recognized the importance of continued open dialogue with local law enforcement and all religious institutions.
It's really important for law enforcement and community groups, civic groups, and faith-based communities to come together, to walk together, because at the end, we're all in it for the same thing, to serve people, to make the common good good, to make sure that our families are safe and are joyful and are peaceful.
Afterwards, attendees were invited back to the social hall for a meal, pastries, and of course, tea. For more information on when the next Tea with the Chief will be taking place, call the Chief's office at 216-623-5005. 3 Hopkins Airport electricians came to Cleveland City Hall for a special meet and greet with Mayor Frank Jackson. Patrick Chambers, Edward Warren, and Eric Schuler were there because of their diligent work during a massive power outage at Hopkins Airport.
The phone call was a panic, and I called my 2 partners, and everybody panicked, and we were all there within 20 minutes. Came in, contacted First Energy, found out that it wasn't going to be back online anytime soon, and then we put into play a plan that we had, an idea, but we never practiced it or thought about it, and carried it out, and made a lot of changes to it along the way, and worked together, and got the airport back up and running safely.
The men told Mayor Jackson how they executed their plan to restore power to the airport. Mayor then presented the men with certificates commending them for their work. Congratulations, gentlemen, on a job well done. And congratulations are also in order for Cleveland Hopkins International Airport. Hopkins has earned the Most Improved Airport by Region category for the 2017 Airport Service Quality Survey, also known as ASQ. The airport posted its best customer service scores last year since they began participating in the service quality program in 2006. In a statement, Mayor Jackson says Cleveland Hopkins International Airport continues to focus on improving visitor experience in all aspects of customer service. Airport Director Robert Kennedy says the airport team is working to create a better experience for our guests, and they are strongly motivated in continuing our focus upon the guest experience and looking for improvements in 2018. Director Kennedy has been invited to accept the award at the ASQ Awards ceremony this September in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada. Congratulations again, Going Places CLE. Well, as you know, our city has a rich history and we want to test your knowledge. Our trivia question for this week appropriately is, originally called the Cleveland Airport, what year did Cleveland Hopkins International Airport open? A, 1910, B, 1915, or C, 1925? We'll have the answer when we return.
Hi, I'm Mayor Frank Jackson. You've probably seen media coverage of the growing opioid epidemic in northeastern Ohio. But what you might not know is how many of these tragedies begin with a seemingly innocent prescription for pain medication. That is why we're teaming with the Cuyahoga County Opiate Marketing Task Force to encourage you to know the risk. Go to the website on your screen to learn which pills are opiates and alternative ways of dealing with pain. What starts as a prescription can end with addiction, so know the risk.
The sunrise of a brand new friend.
Hi from Walking Hill!
Every color, every memory brings you to my door again. When I see your smile, I feel like I could fly. The world's so small, a little time between us. Go from there, let's take a walk, I'll hold your hand.
From Marblehead!
When I see your smile, I feel like I could fly. The world's so small, a little time between us. Go from there, let's take a walk, I'll hold your hand.
Ohio's too much fun for just one day. Say hi to your 3-day getaway at discoverohio.com.
Welcome back to TV20 News. We are Cleveland. I'm Leah Haslage. Originally called the Cleveland Airport, what year did Cleveland Hopkins International Airport open? A, 1910, B, 1915, or C, 1925? The answer, C, 1925. It was the first municipality-owned facility of its kind in the United States. It was also the site of the first air traffic control tower, the first ground-to-air radio control system, and the first airfield lighting system, all by 1930. Since the devastation of Hurricane Maria, people have migrated from Puerto Rico to Northeast Ohio, and they need help. TV20's Enrique Correa was at the recent event called United for Puerto Rico and has more.
En el nombre de Jesús. Amén.
It was a prayer in Spanish to welcome Puerto Ricans who gathered at Lincoln West High School for the United for Puerto Rico Resource and Health Fair.
A lot of them, they came with just the clothes on their backs or just suitcases.
The city of Cleveland partnered up with the Metro Health System for the Health and Resource Services Fair. More than 50 community organizations gathered at Lincoln West High School to provide resources plus health screenings to help the people displaced by Hurricane Maria and that have migrated to the Cleveland area.
I've heard about families that have come in with basically nothing. They're staying with relatives. They have no job. They have no housing. They have literally nothing to start off with, and we are here to provide that for them, to give them resources for them to be able to get back on their feet and be able to be healthy members of society.
By the way, these families, they want to go back home, but they can't go back home yet. So they may be here for a couple months, they may be here for a couple of years, but they have this dream of going back. Many of them do have this dream of going back home. But while they're here, this community has done a fantastic job of showing them that they are welcome and that they are cared for.
Some city officials came by the resource fair to lend their support to the growing cause.
It's important for these families to know that they're not alone, that we welcome, that they're part of our community, and that we have services to help them succeed.
I think Metro Health, partnering with community relations from the city of Cleveland, has done a great job. I mean, you look around the room and you see all the people that are here, all the volunteers that came out to help out this morning. I think we're going to do great things.
Since the devastation of Hurricane Maria hitting Puerto Rico, more than 1,000 people have migrated here to Cleveland, and they're just looking for a better life.
Angel Rivera and his family left San Juan, Puerto Rico in mid-November because their home was destroyed and they were having health problems.
The health of my kids, they were getting worse. My little child has asthma. He stays in the hospital almost for a month before the hurricane came. So we were afraid that if we stay, all the gas, all the using the electric plants, everything like that, would get into him, and then we decided to come over here to the States.
There will be other resource and health fairs in the future to help those displaced by the deadly hurricane. For TV20, I'm Enrique Correa. We are Cleveland.
Thanks, Enrique. For more information on the resource fairs, contact the City of Cleveland's Community Relations at 216-664-3290 or visit city.cleveland.oh.us. MyCon Media educates the youth in Cleveland's neighborhoods on science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. Part of the My Media program is MyCom, and they recently worked with students to create the first TV show, which made its debut at WVIZ Idea Stream.
MyCom has been in existence for 10 years. This is our 10-year anniversary. My Media has been in existence for about 3 or 4 years. However, this year we totally revamped the programs, letting the young people craft it, letting it be neighborhood-based, and this was the outcome. And we have young people from the Kinsman, Ohio City, and Warrensville Heights neighborhoods, and they worked for about 6 weeks creating programs that dealt with all realms of technology and engineering and science, and they created a video, and tonight was the red carpet premiere.
The content is really not for us, it's really for them. So it's youth speaking to youth, peer-to-peer interaction, and we made it look cool.
They dealt with green space, entrepreneurship, bullying, and music, and they all did it in a positive light. So they found things that highlighted young people and young adults in their community and how they were making those things positive.
I love working with the kids. I'm still in the music industry. I got a couple songs on radio right now, but this is my passion, working with the youth, instilling these skill sets. They're interested in my career in entertainment, so I love how I can twist it and turn it and put the education into it, put social emotional learning into it, and it's just this is what I love doing now.
It was really fun, just like in eye-opening to like see all the like the software and the equipment they use, and just to be around like industry level people and you get like the vibe and kind of, I don't want to say the mindset, but the vibe they give off, like the work ethic, and you want to strive for that. If you want to be, with me personally, I want to be in this industry, so it was good. It was a good experience to go through that.
I thought the video was excellent, and the young people were just fantastic in what they did, their thoughts, how they wrote things and displayed themselves and reacted to real life incidents in their lives that's going on today. You know, I think that young people need something to do after school. Getting involved in something like this is ideal, and it opens up new avenues for careers and things that they might want to do in the future or just do for fun.
One thing you can do is each of our neighborhoods, there are 21 neighborhoods, and they all have a lead agency, and that lead agency can connect you to all of the programs that we have throughout Greater Cleveland. So I encourage you to reach out to us at the Cleveland Foundation, and we can point you in the direction of the lead agencies in your neighborhoods.
If you've ever visited the Galleria downtown and gone upstairs, then you've probably seen or even dined at the restaurant called Cafe Sausalito. A little over a month ago, the restaurant closed its doors forever, but that's not the end of the story. TV20 reporter Dan Monroe has more.
The IMG building at East 9th and St. Clair is where you can now find Cafe Sausalito. However, it's been rebranded as Sausalito on 9th. Sausalito owner Saravanan Babu Chandrababu is excited to be taking Sausalito in a newer direction.
Sausalito, being there, done that, went through a lot of changes, and we concentrate more on catering. And now, because of our location, a lot of people doesn't know that Sausalito was there because of the Galleria. Now we have the street exposure, and we are still there. We are still doing business, and this is going to be a great addition to our team and for us.
Babu says that besides the new location, patrons will notice some other changes as well.
The menu has been tweaked a lot with our chef Kenneth Boone. Our hours has been extended. At the Galleria, we used to open from 11:30 till pretty much like 7. We don't even open for dinner. And here we are extending our hours from 11 to 9 o'clock. And Friday and Saturday we are going till 10. And Sunday we are giving a family and friends holiday for the restaurant.
Former owner Gary Lucarelli, who opened Cafe Sausalito back in 1987, is impressed with the new look of the restaurant.
I love it, absolutely love it. I mean, I'm proud that he kept the name Sausalito because we had this idea of doing kind of California contemporary cuisine, tapas in those days, and he kept the name and kept the brand going, but a spectacular setting with a great view of the city, an outdoor patio, and I think it's absolutely gorgeous, and I wish him all the luck in the world.
To help kick off the opening, representatives from Cleveland Mayor Frank Jackson's office were on hand to present Babu with a proclamation. At Sausalito on 9th, for TV20, I'm Dan Monroe.
Wizard World Comic-Con was back at the Huntington Bank Convention Center, where pop culture fans, young and old, came out to experience everything from anime and cosplay, live entertainment, and fantasy. We asked the one and only Kato Kalin, MC for Wizard World, why everyone should come to the 3-day event.
Kato, I know you were here last year. Welcome back to Cleveland.
Yeah, they're playing our song. Get over here.
No. Oh.
Wizard World Comic Con.
What is it like to be a part of Wizard World?
Well, this is my 24th city, and I'll tell you what, the best part about it is people are smiling, laughing, having a great time. And the best thing is when the parents bring the kids in, and the parents are dressed up in character, and the kids are too.
What do you think of Cleveland?
It's my second time being in Cleveland. I love it. First of all, it's so nice that everybody has been more than kind. Everybody. So I love Cleveland. I'm actually from Milwaukee, and Cleveland and Milwaukee it's just all Midwest values, and I love that.
So what is it about Wizard World that you think people that haven't experienced this should get their butts down here and go?
Yeah, get your butt. Well, take a look. There's Captain America. Hey, I'm doing an interview. I can't talk now. Hey, I'm doing an interview. I can't talk now. It's just because of that. It's all the great, first of all, Marvel and DC Comics. It's all the best movies right now. It's so in the zeitgeist of what's going on in the world. And who doesn't want to be a hero?
So what is it about Wizard World that made you want to come out?
I've always been a big geek and a big nerd. It's just, I'm kind of new. I'm trying to get my feet wet. So I wanted to go to somewhere, and I have a lot of friends who are all into the same stuff. So yeah, it was just on my to-do list.
Fans get a chance to meet some of their favorite celebrities and shop amongst the thousands of fandom merchandise, action figures and teas, and everything in between. And those that sell at Wizard World love the event just as much as those attending.
What do you think of Cleveland?
Cleveland's awesome. I mean, the cliche Cleveland rocks. But it's got a cool, eclectic, metropolitan flavor to it that you really don't find anywhere else.
Now tell us about your beautiful artwork.
So I'm a big fan of Andy Warhol, Roy Lichtenstein, and all types of pop art. So one thing I always liked about comics is how bold and contrasted all the line work and colors were. That art style has since died off, but I kind of kept it alive, and so I consider myself kind of like a pop culture museum. Just like, hey, remember all this old stuff we used to like, stuff like that.
Oh, I love being able to do this. It's a great outlet from my 9 to 5. I get to, do things that people really enjoy. I also do Cleveland sets. I just haven't had any posts that I've kind of sold out of them. So I like to do custom stuff. I like to make what people want. So.
Is this your first time at Wizard World?
No, this is actually my second time at this Wizard World. So I'm really excited. I'm starting to get some return customers, so that's pretty cool. People come back like, oh yeah, I bought like a Ninja Turtle set from you last year. I love them. I love to see the new stuff.
So what's your favorite part of Wizard World besides getting to sell your stuff?
Just meeting all sorts of really cool people, We're all nerds on the inside, and I think that the nice thing about a Comic-Con is you get to bring what's inside out for like one day a year. It doesn't have to be Halloween that you get to be, Batman, or you get to be, the Flash or something like that.
Get your cosplay costume ready and mark your calendar for March 8th through the 10th, 2019, when Wizard World will be back in the CLE. Check out wizardworld.com for more information. That's all for your TV20 news. We are Cleveland. I'm Leah Hasledge. Thanks for watching. Up next, we're going to have Christian Patterson with the Inside Sports Report.